You've been invited to participate in a short test. Please look at the website, make sure you scroll down the page and answer the questions as accurately as possible when you move on to your next task. Okay, so having a look at the page, and it says, what is your first impression? So looking at this, it's pretty minimalist. I think it aligns with my expectations of Gucci. I like how we've got this sort of text centralized. That just looks very neat. We've got a high quality image. But I'm a little bit confused because we're looking at I thought that the emphasis for me was actually on the jacket. So there needs to be a lot more emphasis on the item that's being advertised, because I thought, well, clearly the jacket is the most kind of obvious thing here for me. So looking at that, because when I looked down and I saw the bags, I thought, well, what has this got to do with the jacket? So that was a little bit confusing. But there's a bit too much going on. It's a bit messy. It's like, well, should I look here? Should I look here? So I think it just needs to be a little bit more organized in a typical format. Like put the product details on this page and put the variations kind of like here up at the front. So it's unconventional. And I don't like that I have to expand all of the different sections. It's a little bit tedious. But the me also like section, that makes sense to me. That's like pretty predictable. It just seems a bit random. Like I don't like this kind of like get the look, just it looks a bit on its own. Just looks a little bit underwhelming. Like make it a little bit more appealing. Don't waste so much empty space. But yeah, I just don't like the product details on the right. I'd rather it be on the left or in the center, and then put the variations up here, up at the top. That would be clearer, kind of like when you're choosing colors. So they were my first impressions. Oops, I don't know why the web page has kind of moved on. What grabbed my attention? I guess the imagery for sure. The imagery was the main thing that grabbed my attention because I'm a very visual person. But then what also grabbed my attention was that the text was in the center. That's very unconventional and quite a different way of doing things. Have you noticed the gift option at the first glance? No, actually, I can see it now. Give a digital gift, sending using ForGive. So I didn't notice that to begin with. I guess it just wasn't my priority in terms of what I was looking for. But now I've noticed it, but I didn't initially notice it. What would you expect to happen if you click the give a digital gift instantly? I think basically it would just take me through the normal payment process, but then like send me like a link or give me like once I've made the purchase, I could like give an email address or a URL that I could send to my friend who can essentially like redeem the bag. So I'd go through the payment process and then the person who I want to gift it to can essentially redeem it. Is there anything about the give a digital gift instantly that confuses you? Well, I guess I want to know how it works. Maybe you could give me a high-level overview, like 1, 2, 3 steps. How does it work? Like, do I need to know their shipping address and their name and details? Or do I just make the purchase and then get a URL that I can share with them? So maybe just give me a high-level overview of how the gift works. Otherwise, I'm just not going to be very inclined to go ahead and use it. So I just want those questions answered.